Hello.
I'm Mum.
I'm me. That's Bert.
And that makes 3.
And this is round 9 of attempting to do this. There's been 0 sound all day, and now while we're recording this 20-minute time frame, there's been 13 now planes. And we're trying to keep the sound better for you. And the video better. And I'm recording. Do you see that you're recording? You can see sound?
I am recording.
Yay. So we're all working, we think. We recorded this whole thing and her microphone was muted. Okay, so this September 4th, which is Labor Day, we are getting ready to leave, so we're trying to not rush, but we don't want to take too much time. And most of this video is going to be a recording. We've got some exciting stuff for today. While we're in Monterey, we're actually not going to focus on Monterey today. We're going to focus on Bakersfield. But first, to get from Phoenix to Bakersfield, we left Phoenix, got out of the heat. You know that whole story. We went directly to Anna and John, who have been my lifelong friends since they were teenagers. I was in their wedding. Their kids are like kids to me. Love their family. They just celebrated their 26th wedding anniversary. I was in their wedding. We started out at their house in San Clemente, which is kind of a second home to me. I go there a lot, and I love jogging on the beach there. And Anna's the one who taught me to love jogging by getting me the right shoes, so that was great. But then we went to their Claremont house, and John allowed us to park our RV at his business, which is, and I'm going to do a shameless plug. I'm not getting paid for this. I love them. They have been my CPA forever. But his CPA firm is Yoss, Allen, Bernstein, and Goldsmith.
I'm glad he remembers that.
Yeah, and I'll insert some pictures. But again, love these guys. They've been wonderful to us. They are also allowed us to stay while we got a few things done. And I'm going to self-report. My car is difficult. It has an auto reset for the emergency brake. And every time you turn it off, it tries to reset itself. So each time I do it, I have to reset it 3 times to get it to not do that. And then what they do is I actually drove it for a little bit with the brakes on. So while I was driving it with the parking brakes done, I could see smoke coming off the back, and I flat spotted the tires. So now I have to go get a second set of brand new tires on my car tomorrow when Labor Day is over.
I wasn't going to tell you this.
Yeah, but I was, because this is something you don't want to do when you're towing a car. You have to, and literally, this particular car is a pain in the butt with the park, but it's always been a pain in the butt with the parking brake. Sometimes you try to drive and it resets itself and you can't drive at all. Like you have to restart your engine. So, Toyota CHR, that's something you need to work on. Make it better.
Yeah.
So, with that aside, we will talk about all this stuff in just a minute, right after our show information. So, we're back, and please remember to like, comment, share, and download. Apparently, download is a big deal. Whether you're on the podcast or if you're on the YouTube channel, please do that, and please subscribe.
And please let it run all the way through.
Yes.
Otherwise,
even if you don't want to watch us, feel free to just mute us and set it aside and let the dumb thing run.
Yep.
But it does help us grow, and please share and tell your friends. Now, we in Monterey Pines, I want to talk about that a little bit. The very best piece of this is the staff. They're absolutely fantastic. From the grill to the coffee shop to the people that check you in, everybody here is wonderful. we got here super late the night we were checking in, so the next morning they actually walked the papers. They called us and spoke to us, but they walked the paper out to us, so we didn't have to walk in. They were really, really wonderful. I love this place.
I'm sure the golfers weren't pleased with us because they came to play golf and we were parked right in the middle of their parking space.
Yeah, but there wasn't that many cars, and they gave us a lot of space, so it was all good. But you've got your golfing here. You've got the fairgrounds, the other side of the golf course. This fair is on Labor Day in Bakersfield.
Yep.
So that's good.
In Monterey.
Monterey. Excuse me. My apologies. Which is important to note because there's a whole bit of that in the video you're going to watch. We're not there yet. Anyway, so Monterey Pines, really, really highly recommend this. We're actually going to end up talking about this when we talk about Monterey too. But by way of Anna and John, we went and visited our friends, Tim Lunabus and his mom, Haysuk Lunabus, which is her longtime friend. If you can share a little bit about her.
Haysuk is someone who was having a difficult time being accepted when I first met her.
Racism was alive and well.
Yeah. I had similar stuff when I came over, which is illogical, but
daft.
Yeah.
Whether you were English, Korean, Asian, of any kind,
it's irrelevant.
It didn't matter.
No.
Mexican, everybody had it. Nobody liked anybody that wasn't American.
Right. That's very true.
So
anyway, Haysuk was my hairdresser, and was absolutely amazing. She's retired now, looking forward to celebrating her 90th birthday on December the 4th. So we'll see if we can maybe help out with that a little bit. But when she was actually doing her hairdressing, she met and fell in love with a young man by the name of Guy Lunabus, who has recently passed.
He was an attorney.
Yep. And they were getting married, and it was being relatively ignored by almost everybody. So I did a little wedding celebration for them with cake and flowers and little odds and ends. Thought very little of it, but apparently it made a huge impact on Haysuk and her family, and also on Greg.
Well, and when she says she thought very little of it, is in our family at least, it's just we take care of each other and we're kind to each other, and so that's just kind of our normal. And Tim and I were actually talking later in life, as adults, about the degree of racism and our perspectives. I wasn't an Asian culture, but he was, and what he went through and what I went through, and I envied him. He was tall, he was good looking, and I was short and fat and ugly. And
you weren't fat then.
But I was at that point. I was starting already, and it was just total different perspective. So anyway, we've been friends forever, and Guy actually facilitated my adoption shortly after their wedding, and I'm thrilled. I love them to death. Haysuk actually makes the best bulgogi ever, and finally as an adult her kids got me the recipe, which I tried to get it my whole life. I actually taught them the initial ballroom dancing, and then they continued at Arthur Murray's with you while you were there, and we had great fun many, many years. But you haven't seen her in how long?
30 years.
Okay, so how long has it been since you saw each other?
We lost touch when each of us moved in a different direction, so it's been a while.
Been 30 years?
30 years.
So it was really great to reconnect. Anyway, Tim and I actually found each other on Facebook, is how we reconnected, and he's a Hollywood guy, and he's like a star. So
he is.
Yeah, but he still is friendly. He's a good guy. Because you always wonder if people get successful, they remember you.
He's in Hawaii 5-0, and he was in
CSI
and Jag,
and Star Trek, and been in a lot of shows.
Yeah,
the guy's awesome. So super, super down to earth, really good guy.
Love him.
Anyway, so that was great to see him. And on our way up to Monterey, this is what the show's about. we were talking about Basque cooking. I saw the sign for Bakersfield, which was off in the distance the other direction, and we did a 60-mile detour. But what we did was I asked her if she'd ever had Basque cooking, which is a French cuisine, kind of French country cuisine. Very family style, very down to earth, very, very much comfort food.
Yeah.
And she had not had it, so she agreed. We took a detour because we could. And we went to Bakersfield, and logistically, when you're coming into the restaurant, you're going to come in on the main drag, the address that the Wool Herders is on. Don't park your RV there. It's on a very much a slope, and it's going to be hard on your axles and your leveling jacks if you're doing that. So if you park on any of the cross streets, they're all level. We actually went one more block, took a left, parked on the side of the road there. Perfect. We had some shade trees. It was a little bit past a glass factory, but we walked back to the restaurant, and we got to meet first Connie, and Connie was wonderful. Loved her to death. Great server. But she shared a little bit, we were shared about what we're kind of the journey we're on, and she got teary sharing us a little bit about her mom and he's going over there. So she shared about her mom. My mom reminds her of her mom. So she lost her mom a couple years ago, so it was very touching that she would open up her heart and share with us. So
yeah.
We fell in love with her immediately, and then she introduced to Christiane, who is the current managing member of the family-owned business. She's generation number 3. Her daughter was off in the distance, sitting at another table, and we got to meet Jenny, who is second-generation mom that was running the restaurant. And they shared a little bit about the COVID struggles and being shut down 3 times by this governor.
Yeah.
And the amount of food that they had to give away, and some creative ways that they got around making things work, and it really became a town memory.
Yeah.
So really positive people. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to insert some video of photos, but the paintings that you see on the wall are the hometown of Jenny's mother. She was born and raised in France. At 17, she immigrated to America, met her husband. They got married. They started this when Jenny was 2 years old. You'll hear a lot of that story.
Yeah, and they were all shepherds.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
And so they were really genuinely wonderful people. Jenny and Connie and Christiane, we will be coming through to see you again. We had more fun with you, and thank you for the gifts you gave us. We had more fun than we can tell you. So please go there, and they are not paying for this. This was very impromptu video, totally not planned. I had to run out and grab my tripod and stuff like that. But we had so much fun visiting with you, and the food. Tell us about the history of you with oxtail.
Oxtail stew was one of our staples during the war, because our beef, poultry, and pork all went to the front lines to keep our guys healthy. So we had quite a bit of oxtail soup and oxtail stew, and it was wonderful. It's just like my mom used to make. So that was good.
Which was very touching for you.
Yeah, it was very good.
It felt like home.
It did.
And its family. There's some video of the food that we actually ate. Really wonderful. Oh my goodness, it was fun.
Yep.
So anyway, go to Wool Herders. I guess there's a second episode or a second location somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that location is.
And it's interesting too, listening to the Basque culture and how they tie their communities together. So that's in the video as well. So enjoy the video. Again, very impromptu, but we really can't speak highly enough for them. They're wonderful. So enjoy the show.
Bye-bye.
So we are recording already, but this is very impromptu, just so you know. We did not anticipate being here. We're on our way to Monterey. She's never had Basque cooking. I haven't been here in years, probably 30 years I haven't been here. And I was like, okay, well, we have to go there first. So first, you guys have oxtail soup. And I asked her, Connie and I were talking. Hey, come here, Connie.
Yes.
So this is Connie up here. She's our server. Hi, how are you? So Connie was actually sharing us a little bit about her mom. She lost her mom a couple years ago, and we were telling Connie that she hasn't had oxtail soup since the war. And what did you think of the oxtail?
fabulous.
Whose was it like?
It was like my mom's.
So she was seriously getting emotional.
Yeah.
So we, like, you're immediately like part of our family now.
Well, people get very upset when we're out of oxtail stew.
I'll bet.
I mean, they'll come from a long, they're like, oh, we've been driving hours. And I'm like, oh, we're out. Because we make one pot and then it's not like you can just make it in 20 minutes. It takes all day.
No, you can't.
So people get very upset. Like they'll call ahead. Now you have it, right? So save me some.
Well, we were literally going to Monterey and we detoured here. So it's like 60 miles
It's a
out,
detour.
which is fine.
It's always worth it.
But now, after Connie, I met you, so you have to tell me who you are.
I'm Christiane Camus. I'm the third generation. I'm Jenny's daughter. So my grandmother and my grandfather started the business 69 years ago.
And you are?
I'm Jenny Mattia Poncetta. I'm Christiane's mom, and I am the daughter of the original owners who started the restaurant back in 1954.
1954. I was not born yet.
I was.
Oh, were you really?
My
See?
poor mother. I was 2 years old, and my brother was 2 weeks old, and she opened the restaurant. Very hard worker. My dad was ready to give it up after 2 years, and my mom said, no, we are not going to fail. We are going to continue to work hard, and we'll make it. Here we are 69 years later.
When you said a little while ago that part of the reason you guys survived the pandemic was because of your mom.
Right, because she was such a good business person that she made sure that everything was paid for before she gave it up for us to run. And so we didn't have any rent to pay, so that's why we were able to make it through the pandemic.
Well, and during the pandemic, you said you filled up your locker multiple times, and then you got shut down 3 times during pandemic?
3 different times, yeah. We even served out in the parking lot with a big tent.
We
And
bring
then-
everything in and out every day. We called it sheep camp.
Yeah. This is the T-shirt from the
I had a
sheep camp.
tent and I had the
have on
Basque
today.
flags and music and
Yes.
and we had hay bales and I just
that's
tried to make it.
fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And all of our employees, I called them. I said, "Hey, we're going to try to do it outside." They're like, "Okay, let's try it." At our dishwasher, our kitchen, it's far. They had to walk so many steps to take the food in and out and in and out. And we had to take the chairs in and out every day and all the coolers and the heaters but we had fun. We had fun.
So you actually set up your tables and everything outside?
Everything. Yeah, but we had to bring it back in every evening
Oh
and
my
take
gosh.
it, back and so we didn't have to go to the gym. We had our own our own membership.
But isn't that cool? In a really crappy situation, you created memories, and I'll guarantee your whole town probably you're
we
like
were
probably famous for it.
We had a little tent, and like a week later, I said we got to get a bigger one. We needed. I mean, we needed it.
Now that's the thing.
Are you ever going to do the tent again? And I said, heaven's sakes, no.
Is that awesome?
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but it was. I mean, we just had to make the best of it.
So now you tell me about the name.
The name, the WoolGrowers was because my dad was a sheep herder for 14 years before he ever came to town to work. And he was quite a bit older than my mom. And so when they decided to open their own restaurant, he said, well, let's name it WoolGrowers. And she goes, I don't know, that's kind of a different name, but she said, okay. And so, yeah, I think it's a nice name. It definitely relates to the sheep industry, which that's what they all came here for.
Now, can you share what you were saying about Arizona? Because they know we're from Arizona. You've got family members there as well as Texas. But she was sharing about the Basque connection to Arizona.
Yes, they said, and we're going by what Steve Basque, this guy that wrote a book on the Basque, said that Arizona is a Basque name, and Aritz means oak, and Ona means good. So it was a good oak. And I don't know, do you have a lot of oak trees in Arizona?
I actually I don't think so, but
No.
that's
There
okay.
must be a part of Arizona that
It probably
sheep,
north.
They were shepherds, so they were probably grazing their sheep through there, and that's the name they gave it was Arizona.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't had Basque cooking, I took some video of the food. It's family style cooking. Did you get your dessert?
I did. She did.
Oh, she ate it without me. Did you notice that? You went. It was gone. But so I've got pictures. I've got pictures of the food, so you get a taste for it. But also, I'm going to take some pictures of the paintings because I asked you for some history with that.
Yes, the ones that are in our main dining room are all pictures of my mom's village in the Basque Country, which was called is called Saint-Étienne de Bagerie. And then in the banquet room, we have pictures of all the different sheep and different seasons of the year.
And one of the paintings is the home she was born and raised in.
That
Okay.
picture right there.
But what is the one directly behind me?
This one behind you
On
is
the Roman bridge.
The Roman bridge.
That's that one. But what about that one?
Oh, this one back here?
That's not painted by the same artist.
No, that one isn't.
That's just basically showing like a shepherd coming through with his flock, coming through a village. That's very typical of what you see in the Basque Country. They have like they call it a pensia, a little fenced area. They're going to move them back in during the night because they don't want the predators to get them. They bring them into the barn. So you'll see that's the grandfather or somebody moving his sheep back home after a day of grazing.
Yeah.
It's very typical.
And your mom is actually from France?
Yes. Both my parents were from France.
How old were they when they came?
They were both 17.
Oh.
17. Very
Did they
young.
know each other there?
No. Mm-mm. My mom wasn't even born yet when my dad came.
Oh.
Yeah, he came in
But from
1928. My mom
towns
came in
very close to each other.
1947.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were from towns that were very
But they
close to
didn't
each
know.
other.
They didn't know each other there. They met here in Bakersfield, actually.
Very cool.
And then my father's from France, so she married a Basque from the Basque Country.
Ah, good for you. Got to keep it all in the
Yeah.
territorial family.
And I married a Basque.
I was going to say, did you marry
I did. He's 100%.
my daughters.
And my sister did as well. Yeah. So we've.
How do you arrange that in Bakersfield, Arizona?
Well, we have these. I'm going to one this weekend. There's a festival in Chino, California. So we have Basque festivals all through the Western United States. And so what they do, they're sneaky. About 16 or 17-year-olds, they start sending you to these festivals, hoping you're going to meet. hoping you're going to meet a nice boy from. So I married a boy from Chino, California. My sister married a boy from San Francisco, California. But we start hanging out with each other, and you go off to college, and you start traveling to the Basque Country together, and then you go,
This is fun.
this is fun. I think I've met the one. Yeah.
So you're going to Chino. What is the thing in Chino this weekend?
It's a cultural Basque festival. So they usually start with mass. Then they have a meal. So they're going to serve lamb.
That's my.
I know.
I love it.
They have oxtail soup?
They're not going to do oxtail. They're going to do chilindron, which is a deep fried lamb. It's really good. It's my father-in-law's recipe. It's really, really good. And then they'll do the meal, and then they'll do the cultural dancing. They have dance groups where the older generations teach the younger kids how to do the cultural
Of
dancing,
course.
And so they have an amazing dance group up there. And then after that, we have some more drinks and singing, and then they have a band and more
more
dancing.
drinks?
Yeah,
And more drinks.
That's how you end up
Yep.
meeting
Yes.
your.
That's how you end up meeting your significant other.
All
But
arranged,
it's
I can
great
tell.
because like some of these people I only see once a year. I lived down there for 3 years, but so I don't get a chance to travel and see them. So now we'll go, and it's like you saw each other last weekend. It's like just catch up, and it's great.
So for anybody, is this an annual thing? Is there, if somebody that's watching this, if they want to track it, what are they looking for?
Weekend. So they always do it at the Chino Fairgrounds. It's always Labor Day weekend. In Bakersfield, it's always Memorial Day weekend. They try to do like 3-day weekends so people can travel. And we have our own Basque Club on Union Avenue, which is not that far from here. So, and then the other thing that's great about our picnic here in Bakersfield on Memorial Day is Monday of Memorial Day, we serve breakfast 1 day a year, and that's the day we serve breakfast here.
Oh.
So we do a Basque breakfast that day.
What's in a thank you.
You're going to have to come. You get eggs and potatoes, like a home-style potato kind of. We make our own like tomato salsa, but it's not like salsa like. It's a sweet salsa. Very, very good.
Like a chutney.
Yes, and then there's 2 types of sausage. There's a blood sausage and then a lukenka, which has got a little bit more heat to it. And then we do a Basque-style bacon. Wine, cheese, bread.
Do you fry bread?
No, we just do the
that's
sour.
Indian bread.
Yeah, we just do
No, not Indian, like where you take your bread and you fry it in a.
No, we don't do that. No, but it's just a sourdough bread and wine and coffee and orange juice and then we clear the whole banquet room. You'll have to go and and then we dance the rest of the afternoon. Yeah. So.
Very
However,
cool.
I have a son up in Sonoma County, California, that we gotta go see.
Okay.
And then I have another one in Reading.
Oh, okay.
And we gotta get there before we scoot all the way over to Ithaca.
Yeah, so my son just went to Cornell. And so that was the kind of right before we left.
Not a roommate. A fellow classmate of hers is going to Cornell from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your kid?
My daughter's, so this little girl's name was Lindsay Valdez, and she was so cute. She goes, I never thought I'd ever get in. I just did it almost like a fluke, and I got in.
That's what my kid said.
Really?
My kid said, Dad, I don't belong here. This is bigger than me. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, but you deserve it. Yeah, good for you. I mean, don't. But you should never not apply because you think, even if you have a slight chance. I mean, it's just wonderful.
Well, and his company's paying for it, not me.
Ooh, that's even better.
I'm smiling.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to wrap it up, but I want to thank you guys because this has been wonderful and you've been so warm, and thank you for sharing about your mom. And
Well, we hope you have some wonderful memories.
We will.
You have to come back on the tail end
We
and
will.
let us know.
Wouldn't
how-
that be fun?
Oh, yes.
well,
yes.
I'll send you a link for this when it's
Yeah,
finished.
yeah,
I'd love to
for
watch it.
sure.
Nice
I'd
to
love
have
to
met
see
you
your
guys.
journey.
And Mom,
Yes.
take care of this guy.
Yeah, but just remember, she's going to kill me. She's going to kill me.
Okay.
You know how mean she is already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She's so mean.
Oh.
Bye, you
She
guys.
is.
Nice to have met you.
Nice seeing you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to know the route that you're doing. I want to follow you. This is
You can follow on.
Yes.
It's Mum and
yes.
Me. If you go to, do you know what Linktree is? It's, you know, YouTube channel,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's MUM, not MOM.
Okay.
Mum and
Mum,
Me
okay.
podcast.
Mum
No
and Me.
spaces.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll send, if you give me one of your phone numbers, I'll text you.
Okay.
I'll text you the video and I'll text you the link.
That's fun.
So
You're
you'll
gonna
be on
so
what, the
enjoy it.
next one
So
that
how
we
many
drop?
children do you have altogether?
Pardon?
How many children do you have altogether?
5.
5.
But she kept trying until she got it right.
Oh, you're the last one. You're the baby. All boys, girls.
If you can't
the-
see
I
we're full
got
of it.
1 girl and 4 boys.
Okay, that's my husband's family.
Yeah?
He has 4. There's 4 boys, and they ended with the girl. The girl's
Oh, well,
the
I
baby.
started with the girl.
You started with
Yeah.
the girl. Okay. Okay.
So you're the baby.
No, this is my husband's family.
Oh,
I'm the
husband.
oldest. I have 1 sister. Yeah, I have 1 sister, but
just
she's
have 2.
antisocial. She doesn't want to do anything with the restaurant business. She's a CPA. So,
we need
yeah,
those
we need
She
those
can
too.
handle all your finances.
Yes, yes.
Well,
I
you
hope
know
so.
what? Is we were just in, a friend of ours, we were visiting them, and he said that accountants and CPAs are dropping dead, retiring, and there's nobody to replace them. Like they're really struggling
Right.
with having enough
That and
people.
veterinarians. They said veterinarians too.
Yes.
Well, pastors.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, is how many, the huge percentage of pastors are 65 years and older.
Wow.
And they're not being replaced. And then what's happening is churches aren't paying pastors enough to survive. So the wives are working, and then what they're doing is because of their values, they're raising up in the company, then they get moved somewhere else, and they've got the insurance, so the family leaves, and the church has no pastor. And you wouldn't think of that.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I had no idea. I mean, we know that we're Catholics. We know that in the Catholic Church, there's very few becoming priests. Who are going into the religious life. So it's sad.
Well, and believe it or not, mechanics and people like that. There's, everybody's pushing university, which I'm sorry, if you're apprenticing at a shop, that's just as good as a 4-year degree.
Right.
But they're not recognizing it, so we're getting less and less woodworkers, craftsmen, mechanics, all that stuff. So. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for letting
I
us
know,
do this.
of
in
course.
Impromptu.
Thank you for
It was
coming
fun.
in.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy you guys
Yeah,
came.
it was
That's
fun.
nice.
It was fun.
Yeah, I love people, and I love Bakersfield. Every time I've been here, you guys have been wonderful. So.
Oh, thank you.
How old is she?
86.
86.
So Connie's mom was
Great.
1 year
That's
younger.
great.
She looks great.
She's gonna kill me.
Very
My mom passed away when she was 92.
Oh, so her mom died when she was 92. Yeah, she was. She misses her terribly.
Well, my grandmother was a spitfire. If you ever look up
So was my
WoolGrowers, you're gonna see like Kuhlhauser and her like banter with each other. I mean, she'd run off these, guys would be getting in a fight. She'd get right in the middle of little tiny thing, get in the middle of them, get out of here. I mean, she'd kick people out and she was, but a wonderful
One set of guys. They were friends of hers. Actually, she knew them very well. And they started arguing in the bar. This was our other location on Sumner Street. And So she came out, they started fighting. She went in the kitchen. I thought, what is she going to do? And she came out with a broom. She started whacking them with this broom, kicked them both out, slammed the door, locked it, and then they went down to Pyrenees, which was just down the street from us, and they're calling her, Mai, we're sorry. Can you come down and have a drink with us? No! Hung it up. They called her again, come on, Mai, please, we're sorry. We're never going to let that happen again. So she went down there, and every year for her birthday, they would send her
A new broom.
a bouquet of flowers, and they'd put Kenny, Marvin, and the broom.
That's awesome. But see, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
when you've got
Yeah.
legacy in
Yes.
a place.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Is
and
it,
that's
are you in
what
the
she-
same restaurant the whole time?
No,
Same building?
we were 2 blocks over.
First 22
Yeah.
years we were over there. We've been here since 1970s.
Yeah.
But that's what she loved the most about the restaurant business was seeing the multi-generations. She's like, they were my first customers and now they're bringing their grandchildren in. And, if there was a fussy baby, she'd pick them up and she'd walk them around the restaurant. And, I mean, now I try to go pick up a baby and they're like, don't do that. But she could do it. You know what I mean? Like, she could do it. I mean, and she had the cutest little accent and people just...
Oh, yeah.
You just need to put on a fake
I
accent,
guess so.
put your hair in a bun, put on some glasses, dye your hair gray, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
She was a spitfire.
Amelia, did you wake up finally? Hi.
Hi.
That's her daughter.
So
That's our
do you
next
think
generation.
she'll be the 4th generation running it?
I don't see any of my girls continuing it. I mean, they could.
Well,
I could
somebody's
be.
got to.
I could be
Look at her.
shocked
She's
by
saying,
it.
I will.
Yeah.
You know what's
They've
funny?
all worked here.
But when
I don't know.
somebody sees the opportunity and they get their kind of their own grounding,
Mhm.
that's when they go,
Yeah.
I think I want to do
Yeah.
this. Somebody will.
Yeah.
Just keep them involved and
Yeah.
don't piss them off. That's the hard part.
Oh, I know.
We actually the CPA I just talked to, they their kids are like my
Mm-hmm.
nephews and stuff, and one of them was being a little bit of a pill, and she's like, if you don't want to take over the company, we've got other people that will fill your gap.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no.
Okay.
But take it away.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, I'll work harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
I
ever
know.
be afraid of taking it away.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she spoke 4 languages.
What'd she speak?
No, she spoke French and Basque from when she was born. They learned Basque at home and French in school. So then when she came over here, her first boss was from Spain. So she learned Spanish with her because she spoke no Basque. And then she learned English. So she spoke 4 languages. And I told her, Mom, how did you learn Spanish? And she said, well, Mom, I had to.
You don't have a choice.
And she goes, he's the best teacher there is, Mr. Have to.
Right?
You never have to.
I
She
like
told me
that.
that's why you didn't have to.
Yeah.
I used to
and she's
speak
right.
Spanish, French, Latin, and English, but Latin's a dead language. But it is helpful because there's a lot of Latin stems.
Yes, exactly.
That was before he got old and got dementia.
See? Do you feel bad for me yet?
You're gonna have a fun road trip.
Actually, the last video is like we were giving it to our love language is sarcasm.
Yes.
If we're not giving each other a hard time, there's something really wrong.
Something wrong, yeah.
If we're not giving each other a hard time, that means we're really mad at each other.
That means we're not talking. Okay.
Yeah.
It
Thank
was
you.
quiet.
Oh,
you're
no,
It was
very
fun.
thank
welcome.
you.
I enjoyed talking to
Yes,
you.
loved
We'll be
it.
back.
Enjoyed it.
We'll be back through in February-ish.
Okay.
Perfect.
So-
Great.